What's up, YouTube? This is BoxingWave, and we are fresh off that Tyson Fury, Dillian Whyte knockout, 6th round. I feel like I gave Dillian Whyte way too much credit, and I feel this is a very important fight for so many reasons. And I was saying this on the live just now, and shout out to everybody that was just on the live and the new subscribers and everything. Commentary was good. The card overall was kind of boring, I'm not going to lie. And the main event was kind of ugly. It was an ugly fight between Dillian Whyte and Tyson Fury, but we had a good time like we always do. Because whenever there's a boring card, we got to find something in boxing related to talk about, and discuss as a group. So shout out to all the supporters, all the new supporters, everyone that donated to the channel and everything. All right, but look, Dillian Whyte got knocked out in the 6th round. And, the fight was somewhat competitive. I gave Dillian the first round. He comes out as a southpaw, which was weird. We never seen him fight as a southpaw. And I gave him the round only because he touched Fury a little bit more. But again, it was still a real filling out round. I seen some people in the chat that gave Dillian 2 rounds out of the fight, but I didn't see anything more than 2. All right, I gave him the first and the first only. After that, the 2nd round, Dillian goes orthodox, and then Tyson Fury comes out as a southpaw, and he stays as a southpaw for a little bit, and then there's a point where they both fight orthodox, and the fight goes normal. Not a lot of clean punching from neither. There was mostly jabs and mostly shots to the body. But Fury, like I said in the breakdown, he was trying to just get that 1-2 off, maintain that distance, shoot that jab, throw that right hand through the guard. He was very successful with the check left hook. We knew that Dillian was going to throw those right hands, and we knew that Fury was going to step around them and counter with the left hook, which he did. There was a point, the best punch that Whyte might have landed was like in the 3rd or 4th round, where he landed the left hook up top. Right, that kind of stumbled Tyson Fury a little bit, but the knockout in the 6th round was just out of nowhere. Dillian had walked in like he did, similar to Povetkin, and he got clipped with an uppercut that he didn't see coming. He was laid flat out. He did get back up, but he didn't know where he was, and the ref waved off the fight. He didn't know. He was definitely not capable of continuing that fight, and that was that. I mean, there was a lot of wrestling. There was a head clash. Dillian Whyte was cut. And then the ref has had to keep separating the two of them because it was getting really physical and ugly. And there was a point where they were wrestling on one of the corners, and Whyte's back was against the corner, and they were in the corner of Tyson Fury, and one of the people in Fury's camp threw a cup with ice on the back of Dillian's head because of all the wrestling that they were doing. So it was an ugly fight. It wasn't like an enjoyable fight. This wasn't Deontay Wilder versus Fury. This wasn't even Fury. I mean, it wasn't some of the better Dillian Whyte fights that we got. It was just a wrestling match for the most part. And I think a lot of it was due to the frustration of Dillian Whyte and not having success on the inside. He couldn't really work in there because Fury played it smart. Like, he executed it like we thought he would. He did tie up when Dillian was on the inside. It is what it is. Dillian just couldn't get the body shots off on the inside. Couldn't really get the hook off. Outside of that one time he landed it. And just couldn't really get his offense off like he wanted to. Outside of some jabs and some hooks to the body, he didn't really get the overhand right in. He really didn't get much in there. Fury played it smart, and he outboxed him well, and he clearly won the fight leading up to that knockout, the uppercut knockout, all right? So after the fight, Dillian Whyte leaves the arena. He didn't give us an interview, all right? I guess we'll probably see it in a post-fight interview at the press conference. Tyson Fury was in the ring for a while. He basically said that, he promised his wife that the trilogy with Deontay Wilder was going to be it for him. He also said that, he's thinking about this being the last one. He doesn't seem to want to continue. He said he spoke about retirement a lot recently. All right, and he's retired before, so I still feel like he's gonna fight, but we just gotta wait and see. You know, we all waiting for the outcome of Joshua and Usyk in a rematch. Francis Ngannou into the ring, the UFC heavyweight champion of the world. He's shared in his interest of wanting to fight Tyson Fury in the past, and Anthony Joshua as well. And he got in the ring, and Fury did what he normally did. He promoted it like it was like, this is going to be the biggest fight of this. And he was hyping it up, but he just finished telling us that he's most likely going to retire. I don't think that fight is ever going to happen, but, you know, Fury just likes to have fun. He was hyped up in there. Overall, the event was okay. Even though it was in Wembley and it was a full crowd, it didn't feel like the AJ fights in Wembley that we've seen in the past. Even going back to Carl Froch and George Groves, I mean, it didn't feel like that kind of energy, but it looked like it was a good time out there. You know what I'm saying? And the production wasn't on the level of the Joshua fight, but and then again, who really cares? You know I don't, but I did notice that it was different levels as far as the production itself. So anyway, me personally. I believe that is no debating on who's the best in the heavyweight as far as right now. I've been waiting to see Fury actually fight someone that's an elite heavyweight that is not on just like who he wants to fight. You know, he actually fought his mandatory and defended it against someone not named Deontay Wilder. You know, and I respect that. He has a win over Klitschko now. He has the 2 wins over Deontay Wilder. He won the trilogy between them, and now he's beaten Dillian Whyte, who's been considered a top welterweight for a while. I would love to see an Undisputed, of course. More importantly, I would love to see both a fight between Fury and Usyk and a fight between Fury and Joshua. As a fan, I would love to see just the styles between Usyk and Fury. We know we all respect Fury because of his size, his length, you know, his slickness, the way he can move, and just his overall boxing ability. But I respect Usyk too. What Usyk can do is incredible, and honestly, I was more impressed what Usyk was able to do against Anthony Joshua over this fight. You know. Usyk is a very intelligent boxer, and I would love to still see that fight with Fury. But I want the winner to fight Fury next. But as a fan, I still would love to see, as a fantasy fight, Usyk versus Fury and Joshua versus Fury. All right, I'm rooting for Joshua. I don't know if he's going to beat Usyk in his rematch because this is going to be a different fight. I think the outcome is knockout from either side. I don't think this is not going to a decision. Whenever I sit down and go with who I'm going with at the very end, I'm either going to pick Usyk by KO or Joshua by KO, because I'm expecting Joshua to be more aggressive, and I expect Usyk to be more aggressive and catch Joshua, either catch him or get knocked out himself. All right, so can't wait for that fight. Hopefully Fury doesn't retire, but if he does, great career. I think just want to see more. Personally, me personally, I wanted to see more. I want to see Undisputed, but if he retires, great career. You know, made a lot of money. Nothing else to really prove. You know, but as a fan of boxing, I want Undisputed, and I just want to see those fantasy matchups because those are great matchups. As far as anybody else on the come up, don't really care for Fury to fight any of them. I just want Usyk and Joshua. You know, no more mandatories. You know, I know there's other guys that's on the come up and is looking for their shot. I want Fury, Joshua, and Usyk. You know, whatever way you do it. All right. So yeah, I think I covered everything. You know, I picked Fury at the very end to win a decision. I just didn't think that, you know, I just thought that Whyte was good enough to survive, and that's kind of why today, you know, I think I picked Fury, but I can't say if I actually picked. I think I said that Fury would either knock out Whyte late or win a decision. today I actually said on my live that I'm just going to go with the decision because I thought that Dillian would do enough to at least survive, even if he loses or get hurt or whatever. But he got caught with that uppercut, you know, and that seems to be his, you know, that's his biggest weakness, you know, because we saw what happened with Povetkin. So at the end of the day, I love Dillian. I hope he still continues. I'm sure he will. I don't think he's going to retire, but I'm sure he got paid lovely for this fight too, especially when the pay-per-view numbers come out. I still want to see him in fights. You know, there's still plenty of people out there. There's still Andy Ruiz out there. There's still Luis Ortiz out there. You know, you still got a lot of guys coming up. There's still fights that I want to see with Dillian. But I really want to see the Andy Ruiz fight. I really want to see the Luis Ortiz fight because those are fights that been discussed recently, and I still want to see those. You know, don't really care much for a Joshua rematch, but I can see that happening. I don't think Wilder is coming back, but if he does, I want to see Wilder fight Joshua first, and if not Joshua, fight Dillian Whyte. Still, you know why? Because I know we see losses and everything, but I don't just ride people off, completely write them off because they lost a fight. At the end of the day, Tyson was a heavy favorite. You know, he's the best. And I think right now he's in the lead of this generation of heavyweights. All right. But still a lot of questions on who's the very best to prove it. We got to officially get it, and we won't know unless somebody becomes undisputed. All right. So anyway, I think I called everything and said everything. Again, not the greatest fight, but great commentary, live show. Again, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Smash that like button as well. Share the video. And I'm out, man. We'll talk about it. We got all week to talk about it, and we got more fights coming up next week. I've been putting out a lot of breakdowns. Definitely check out Shakur Stevenson, Oscar Valdez. Also, look out for Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano breakdown that's coming soon. I will definitely be doing that live next week. Both fights, both cards. So be on here next week and look out for me. More content coming soon. Peace.